Hey, what's up?
Nothing. Where are you at?
I am in my room right now working on a video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else going on?
So the school situation. Um, so I decided to not take classes this semester.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I get, a runway to just really work on the Kong and then see what happens.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
You know how I feel about that.
I feel like if I don't go all in, I will come out on the other side very much so regretting not having put the effort in. So,
Yeah.
but I mean,
All right.
you're taking this very well.
You know, make your own decisions.
True.
Make your own decisions.
Alright, so what you guys just watched there was a video of me in 2018 telling my dad that I was dropping out of college to pursue entrepreneurship. Specifically, an idea that I had come up with right here. It's a koozie that transforms into a beer bong. Yeah. So I found a cucumber mint water. So basically, this is a koozie, so it keeps your drink cold, and it's got this little hose on the side you can just take off, plug up into the bottom, and then you expand the hose. Should I bong a sparkling water? And then you just pour it right into the Kong, just like a typical beer bong. This is about to be really disgusting. You just take your hose off the side like this, and then you just bong it, I guess. Damn it. Today I wanted to call my dad, my mom, and my grandma, kind of the three adults that are in my life, and just ask them, what did they think when I first told them about this idea? I'm pretty sure they thought I was like kind of nuts or like kind of like crazy. What did they think about me like dropping out of college to like pursue this? And then what do they think today?
Hey,
Hey, what's up?
what's up?
Basically, I wanted to ask you like what you thought about the Kong when I first like pitched you the idea. Do you even remember when I first like pitched you the idea of the Kong?
Yeah, I think I remember it.
You do? What did you think of the idea when I first pitched it to you?
I thought the product was a fine product. I thought that it would be a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
Did I think that it would be as successful as it is today? No, probably not.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time I called you and told you I was dropping out of school?
Yes.
Yeah. What did you think about me dropping out of school?
Well, I mean, you know what I thought. Do I wish you would have finished school? Sure. I still think that it would be a good thing for you to do, whether it's now, 5 years from now, just to finish.
Huh. So do you ever think there's like a time that you like were dropping out of college does make sense?
Generally, probably not. It's not to say that success only comes to those who have the paper degree, but generally, it's still the most common and widely accepted aptitude test.
You've had obviously success going down this path of college, working for a corporate company and then climbing your way up the corporate ladder. So coming from that perspective experience, you would say that worked for you, so hypothetically should work for others too. So
Right.
Cool.
And the debt factor does play a little bit of a part too.
Yeah,
College
that's
has
nice.
gotten so expensive that it's tough because then you graduate and you have crap tons of student debt.
Yeah. Right.
And you can sit and say, okay, is $80,000 in student debt, or 100, or whatever it ends up being, worth the earning potential? Maybe not.
Right.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. What's up with you?
So I wanted to see what you thought, or if you remember when I first told you about the Kong idea.
Yeah, could I tell you the date and everything?
Well, no,
yeah,
but
no.
But you remember it.
Yeah, totally remember. I remember having conversations and at first thinking that, these are just fun ideas. I never really thought it would go. Maybe that you wouldn't follow through necessarily. We all have dreams or ideas, but
Do you remember when I told you that I wanted to drop out of school to pursue?
devastated. Yes.
Nice. I was gonna ask you what were your thoughts back then when I told you I wanted to drop out of school?
I was devastated because my experience with having just a little bit of school left and not finishing, I didn't want you to have that and have those bills to pay.
Right.
Not that at that time I didn't think that you couldn't do something with this necessarily. It wasn't that. It was more a fear that you were going to do that. And I felt like you were so close and you worked so hard. And even if you never did anything with that piece of paper, it showed that you completed something. And it obviously meant way more to me than it did you.
Right.
And I'm not mad. I mean, yes, I'd still like that you would have gotten your little piece of paper. But,
Right.
I mean, ultimately, you're an adult.
So you think it would have been better if I would have finished that, because I think I had a year left, and that year would have been pretty heavy with credit hours.
What I would have felt more comfortable with is it, and even if you continue just taking one class at a semester or something, because I understood you were wanting to go and you wanted to focus in. You were teaching yourself so many different things. You were, all over the place trying to get stuff done. And you saw school probably as an aggravation and inconvenience. I had so many people throughout my life look down on me because I didn't have that piece of paper. I regret not finishing. And there were many, many opportunities that I would have loved to have done and become a part of, but they could not hire me because of that piece of paper.
I feel because that I've gone and worked on these projects, that is almost my replacement for a college
Right.
degree.
And I get how you see that. I just know that especially older generations, they don't necessarily see it always that way.
Well,
That's
I mean,
all.
don't you think they would almost rather see real life experience and that I've been able to grow this company to this level versus a college degree? It's almost more valuable in my opinion.
Maybe. You know what? I don't know. But,
Mm-hmm.
when you're a parent and your child comes to you and says, I have this much outstanding loan and I'm going to just stop and do this,
Right.
you worry.
Hello.
Hey.
Because the rules, I can fudge it. So I think because I went online to check.
Well, I got some questions for you. Do you remember when I first came up with the Kong idea? Do you remember me telling it to you for the first time?
Well, yeah. I mean, you talked about it. You talked about how you and Hunter were working on doing it on the CAD system, and
Right. What did you think about the idea?
I thought, well, hell, it probably would sell.
Oh, really?
Well, first I kind of thought it was funny, but yeah, I thought, well, probably there are other people who would. Well, at that age, you probably could sell a few of them. I never had any idea it was going to turn out the way it did now.
Right. What did you think about me dropping out of college when I first told you that?
Well, I was definitely against that. I talked you into staying in another semester or two. But when you had gotten to the point where you needed to spend your time getting this thing to market, and you only were that close, I thought, hell, you might as well. First of all, I wasn't going to talk you out of it. I could tell.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, you were going to do what you were going to do, so what was the point of arguing about it? And the direction that you're going, it wouldn't make a bit of difference whether you had a degree or not. So,
Right.
your arguments were absolutely right on. Plus, I'm of the opinion, being old and looking back on my life, I really believe people need to follow their dreams when they're young.
Yeah.
Because you don't always get a second chance.
Dang.
What did you have to lose? You didn't have anything, so you couldn't lose much, right?
I mean, it's true. I definitely don't remember you being as positive about dropping out when I told you about it. Like,
the last time I said, go ahead, you know?
Yeah.
Well, this conversation went on for over a year.
Yeah, I know.
The market was ready, you were ready. Had you not been able to spend the time you did bringing them along to market, I don't know that you would have been successful.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that was going to wait any longer. It already had waited a while.
In my mind, dropping out of college was like, it was kind of like burning the boats, where like I really felt like I didn't have any other option but to really pursue what I actually wanted to do. And that, even though that wasn't true, I definitely could have gone back. I could have finished. Heck, I probably even could have got a job without a degree. But in my mind, dropping out of college was like, I don't have that traditional path anymore. I can't go get a job. I can't like I have to make this work. Even if that means sleeping on the floors, Airbnb-ing out my house, you know, like I have to make this work in order to like.
You would have regretted it.
Yeah.
Had you not tried it. Even if you had tried it and failed.
Right.
I think you would have been happier than if you had not tried it at all.
Right.
And I knew you were dedicated and motivated enough that if it was going to work, you'd make it work.
Right.
But your willingness to sacrifice,
Yeah.
to sleep on the floor and Airbnb out your house and drive a vehicle that was kind of coming apart.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll be
and eat crazy food.
Yeah.
Because it didn't cost anything. Work in a restaurant.
Yeah.
For $5 an hour and tips. If a person isn't willing to make those sacrifices to make their dream come true, then they're relying entirely on luck.
Yeah. And I'll be honest too, like I really don't think I had somewhat of a plan when I dropped out, but it wasn't fully there. I mean, I didn't exactly know like how I was gonna like do everything.
I used the wrong word when I said you had a plan. That wasn't the right word.
Yeah.
The word was vision.
Yeah.
You had a vision that you were committed to it.
Right. I'd agree with that.
You didn't have all the details, but you didn't need it as long as you knew you had the vision and you knew where you wanted to end up. Then you could work it out as you went along. You had setbacks all the time.
Right.
So the vision and the motivation are critical. The willingness to sacrifice. You gave up a social life. You barely saw family. No girl. Gave up girlfriends.
Yep.
Gave up doing fun stuff.
Pretty much.
I think those were the three elements that have helped you so much. The vision, the motivation, the willingness to sacrifice.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So why are you doing history here?
So I'm actually making a YouTube video right now, so I'm recording this conversation. But I'm
You're supposed to warn people about that.
I wanted to get the organic, response from you. So just for a little bit of backstory as well, just since launching this whole idea, this project has obviously paid off for us. We've been able to just support ourselves with this now, and it's worked out basically. I just want to make sure that that is understood, because obviously if this hadn't worked out, the story might be a little bit different of what exactly my family thinks now, Real quick too, just to kind of wrap this video up, I did want to also just kind of give my opinions on why I dropped out of college. So for me, it was I was in a position where I really felt gravity towards pursuing this idea. And I was in a position where I felt like school was taking away from going down the path that I ultimately knew that I was going to go down, whether I graduated in a year or didn't. And I knew that a degree wasn't really going to help me towards that direction. It was the direction that I really wanted to go. I really felt that if I didn't, really pursue this idea fully and go all in on it, that I would probably regret not having done so way in the future. In fact, I even say that in that original clip where I'm telling my dad that I want to drop out. And I also knew that, dropping out of college in my mind was a way to force myself to take action on the things that I actually wanted to do. So, for instance, even though it wasn't true, I really did feel that like dropping out was a burning the boats. There was no going back to this 9-to-5 life that I had been kind of preparing for, or that I had been going in that direction. What that kind of did for me is it put me in a position where I had to make this work. I had to make this path work, and it raised the stakes to a point where I was willing to do whatever it took to like make sure it happened. So yeah, I mean, ultimately for me it was time to drop out of college and pursue this full time. Realistically, if I needed to have gone back to college, I could have. Although when I dropped out, my mindset was like, this is it. Like I gotta figure this out, or I don't even know, fail or like. But yeah, so to anyone who's watching this and like maybe considering dropping out, I'm not saying that like dropping out is for everyone. In fact, honestly, probably most people shouldn't drop out, especially if you're just running away from school. If you have something that's pulling you, possibly. Like, make sure you're wanting to drop out for the right reasons, not just because you don't like school. If you do find yourself in that situation where deep down you really do believe like dropping out is the right move for you, keep in mind that probably nobody around you is going to agree with you. As you can tell from like the phone calls that like we just had, I think like just throughout your life, like you're going to identify things that like you really believe that you should go after. And I don't know, sometimes the people who are closest to you in your life aren't going to agree with you. And if you just really believe that like that's what you need to do, then you got to just grow the nuts and do it, you know? Yeah, I guess if anyone else has any like wants to talk about it or anything, my DMs are open. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. Should be at Tristan McIntyre, just my full name. Yeah, just feel free to shoot me a DM, and maybe you can kind of explain your situation of like why you're thinking about dropping out of college, and I can give my 2 cents. If you like this, if you're into entrepreneurship, if you just want to see more about like what we do with the Kong, kind of the behind the scenes of like how we're doing everything, yeah, give a subscribe or like hit the hit that thing. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.